Hello and welcome to our channel. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. And if you're new here, please give us a like and show us support by subscribing to our channel. Thank you so much. Now, without further ado, let's get into the video. Anil Ambani joined Reliance Industries in 1983 as an executive dealing with business investors in the press. By 2002, Reliance had grown into a $15 billion conglomerate. But sadly, Dhirubhai Ambani passed away the same year, leading to the infamous Ambani brothers feud. This feud led to the split of Reliance into two, and Anil Ambani got the reins of the Reliance ADA group. In 2008, Anil Ambani was the sixth richest person in the world with a net worth of $42 billion. His net worth had grown by $23.8 billion after he made Indian stock market history by listing Reliance Power, which turned out to be the biggest offering in India at that time. So, how did Anil Ambani go from being the sixth richest man in the world to filing bankruptcy in 2020? Let's find out together. The failed deal with MTN. Anil Ambani invested around $2 billion in advancing Reliance Communications, which was the leading mobile provider in India in 2008. To pay off the increasing debts, Reliance Communication was in conversation with the South African mobile company, MTN. This deal was intended to combine the two into one mega mobile merger, but the deal fell through due to a legality issue, and with that went Anil Ambani's hopes for a debt clearing way out. The 2G scandal of 2011. In April 2011, Anil Ambani's managing director and two vice presidents were arrested on suspicion of conspiring to acquire mispriced mobile network licenses for companies Reliance Communication has invested in to deceptively bolster share prices. The CBI questioned Anil Ambani on his alleged involvement in the 2G spectrum case, which saw his net worth collapse fourfold to $8.8 billion. In 2012, amidst scandals, Anil Ambani acquired more debt to pay off the existing debts. Reliance Communications took a loan of over $1.2 billion from three Chinese banks on Anil Ambani's personal guarantee. The entry of Jio in 2016. By 2016, many of Anil Ambani's companies ran into debt and operational troubles. On the other hand, Reliance Power had to sell its assets. Reliance Communications lost 98% valuation over a period of 3 years. Reliance Communications was unable to compete against the top reigning telecom companies and lost consumers. This brought down Anil Ambani's net worth to $2.5 billion. Lawsuit from Ericsson in 2016. Anil Ambani's Reliance Communication owned the Swedish network company Ericsson, $80 million, which he failed to repay. As a result, Ericsson filed a lawsuit against Anil Ambani in 2016. In 2019, the Supreme Court of India ordered Anil Ambani to repay the debt along with interest or go to jail. In an unlikely intervention, Anil Ambani's elder brother, Mukesh Ambani, paid the money owed to Ericsson and saved Anil Ambani from going to jail. The return of the Chinese banks. Reliance Communications filed bankruptcy in 2019. The $1.2 billion loan that it took from the three Chinese banks, Industrial and Commercial Bank of China, Export-Import Bank of China, and China Development Bank, was only partially paid till then. Anil Ambani still owed over $700 million, including interests. In February 2020, Anil Ambani declared that his net worth has fallen to zero after considering his liabilities. He pleaded poverty and claimed that he doesn't hold any meaningful assets that could be liquidated to pay off the debts he owed to the Chinese banks. The value of my investments has collapsed. My net worth is zero after taking into account my liabilities. In summary, I do not hold any meaningful assets which can be liquidated for the purpose of these proceedings. Anil Ambani. And now let's learn about the history of the Ambani Empire. We have all heard the stories of rags to riches, but rarely do we hear a story of riches to rags. This is one of those rare ones. Who would have thought that a man who had a net worth of $42 billion in 2008 would claim poverty in 2020? What if you were inheriting an empire this huge? Would you be able to manage it? Or would you screw up and lose it all? 18 years ago, two brothers were given this empire. One made it bigger, and the other took it down. Division of the empire. When Dhirubhai Ambani passed away in 2002, a bitter feud started between the two brothers about how his vast empire would be divided. The dust settled in 2005, and this is how the businesses were distributed. Anil Ambani, Reliance Infocom, Telecom, Reliance Energy, Electricity, later became Reliance Power, and Reliance Capital Limited, Financial Services. Mukesh Ambani, Reliance Industries Limited, and Indian Petroleum Corporation Limited. With this division came a non-compete agreement. None of them could enter the other's business till 2016. Ironically, Anil got all the glamorous businesses and Mukesh got the non-glamorous cash cow. Reliance Power. By 2008, Anil Ambani had managed to become richer than Mukesh Ambani with a net worth of $42 billion. This fortune was short-lived. As per an older agreement, Mukesh Ambani was to supply gas till 2022 to Anil's Reliance Power at a price that was 44% lower than the government's prevailing rates. In 2010, Mukesh stopped doing this. But why? Because the government had raised gas prices, it was no longer feasible for him to give cheap gas to his brother. What next? Anil took Mukesh to court, which sided with Mukesh because the gas was government property and it had the right to decide prices. This took away the competitive advantage of Anil and marked the beginning of his downfall. The company's alleged involvement in the coal allocation scam further eroded trust. This, combined with poor management, drove Reliance Power into major debt. Today, its debt stands at around 26,000 crores. However, the company is still standing. It has one of the largest power portfolios in India, and it is set to get a loan of 1,200 crores from Varde Partners, which could give it a boost. Reliance Telecom. There was a time when Reliance Infocom, or Reliance Communications, was one of the biggest telecom players. It was the Jio of the 2010s, providing affordable phones and phone calls. But it faced three major problems. Its alleged involvement in the 2G scam. The scam highlighted irregularities in the distribution of spectrum, caused Reliance Communications shares to fail. Plus, its reputation was damaged. Reliance Communications had focused on CDMA tech, which doesn't involve a SIM card. This helped it lower costs, but other players were focusing on GSM because it had better network quality and international roaming. So, consumers shifted to GSM. To stay in business, Reliance Communications had to reinvent itself. This meant major expenditures on infrastructure, which put the company in debt. When Mukesh Ambani entered the space with Reliance Jio, it was game over for Anil and Reliance Communications. The company failed to pay off its 45,000 crore debt and headed for bankruptcy proceedings in 2018. These proceedings are still ongoing. Reliance Capital. Yet another Anil Ambani company currently facing bankruptcy proceedings. Its failure was the result of the failures of Ambani's other companies. But how? Anil Ambani's businesses were super capex heavy. He also spent a lot on acquisitions in the entertainment space. So he started using Reliance Capital's lending businesses to fund his other ventures. Reliance Home Finance lent out huge amounts to Reliance Infrastructure and Reliance Power, which they failed to repay. In 2019, it had an exposure of 8,708,000 crores to group companies as well as other corporates. And while Anil failed to pay back debts, Reliance Capital also faced difficulties in raising funds. But why? Anil tried to make it through by selling assets like the mutual funds and the insurance business. This didn't help. Reliance Capital filed for bankruptcy in 2021 after defaulting on bonds worth 24,000 crores. Even before Reliance Capital failed, Anil Ambani's net worth had gone down to zero. Yes, he admitted it in a UK court in 2020. He has also been removed from the boards of the still operating company for charges of siphoning funds. Key failures that led to Anil Ambani's downfall. By charting his entire journey, we found key pointers that led to this massive downfall. Running capex-heavy businesses with too much leverage. Taking on too much debt when money was flush. Living a lavish lifestyle. He allegedly rode his helicopter twice a week just to cover a few kilometers of distance. Filing lawsuits against anyone and everyone. This was also capital and time intensive. These factors were grouped with a heavy dose of bad luck. Ambani inherited these businesses at a time when power and infrastructure were facing a downturn thanks to the financial crisis. Maybe strategic planning could have prevented losses this huge. He still has Reliance Power and Reliance Infrastructure, sectors that are seeing an uptick again today. That was today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it and that you learned something interesting. Comment down below what you liked the most about this video and suggest any topics that you would like to hear about in future videos. To show us support, please give us a like and subscribe to our channel, and I will see you in the next video.